Well, I think it's time the Super Duty gets a little bit of a bath. It's kind of hard to tell with white. Get a little closer. Yeah, I think we could definitely use a little improvement over here. So let's go for a drive. Let's talk a little bit. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today we are out in the Platinum, the 2022 6.7 liter turbo diesel. We have the starlight on. It's a little bit cloudy out today, but hey, it's winter time. We're just trying to enjoy life as good as you can in this kind of weather, and what better way to do it than in the brand new 2022 Platinum, which, well, I guess it's not brand new anymore. We've had it for a year. The new truck is on its way out. So we're going to talk about a few things, my 5 reasons or 5 mistakes that Ford has made with their trucks. So we're gonna go kind of across the board, a couple Super Duty things, maybe some other truck things, but all truck things related to Ford that just, in my experience, being in the automotive industry, I feel that they did things right and then they kind of backtracked a little bit in certain ways, and maybe they can correct these things in the future, because honestly, Ford watches these videos sometimes, and if they can bring back some of the stuff that maybe the people out there like me like, might be better for purchasing in the future. So we're gonna put that out there today and just kind of show you guys just some of the things. And you can go in the comments and say whether I'm crazy, maybe there's things that you like that they don't have anymore, or they've changed that you don't like, all that. But we're gonna start off by saying, because I know everybody's gonna go in the comments and say, oh, you hate your truck, blah, blah, blah. I love this truck. This truck is awesome. Could some things improve? Always. There's always something you can improve. And this isn't specifically about my truck in particular. This is just kind of just some of my thoughts about how Ford has done things in the past, and maybe some things maybe they should bring back. Well, the truck's looking a little better, but I did forget my wash mitt, so yeah, pretty well pointless. Oh well, nothing like doing it again. All right, well, that was semi-pointless. Woohoo! If you guys have not seen the video when we put the Banks pedal monster on this thing, definitely wakes it up. You don't even need a chip or anything. You just put the pedal monster on and things are just better. Things just go faster then. And with a diesel, it's fun. Definitely fun. And also a big thanks to everybody who's hit that subscribe button. We have hit 40,000 subscribers, so big thanks to you guys out there for that. We are definitely growing as a channel, and it's very encouraging to me to keep making content for you guys and keep doing fun stuff. So if you haven't yet, definitely hit that subscribe button if you guys want to be part of the family here at Hammerdown Motorsports. Okay, so number 1, we're going to talk about one thing that has definitely bothered me from the time that it happened, and it kind of happened at a low point in the Super Duty, was the last of the international engines, the 6.4 liter. They got rid of the Harley Davidson Edition Super Duty. And for me personally, growing up working as a mechanic and seeing those trucks, I was just like, oh, that was a truck for me. Like, I have never even owned a Harley, but I definitely wanted a Harley truck. They were just so cool. They had, especially the 6 liter ones. I mean, the 6 liter was, I guess nowadays, a little bit better because people bulletproof them and whatever, but it just had that flame on the side, and you could get it with the black, with the fancy door handles, and it had like almost like carbon fiber, but it was little Harley symbols on the dash, and had the Harley insignias on the seats, and it had the white stitching, and it was just a special edition truck. And when you see a Harley truck, you're just like, oh dude, like that is awesome. And it was a Ford truck, so you could buy that truck as a Harley Davidson edition right from Ford. And I know there is an aftermarket version now, which you can buy at the dealer, but it is built by a aftermarket company, and it's just, for me, it's not the same feel as actually getting the truck that was built by Ford. And also the price, it's like, I don't even know what the actual price is, but I think it's somewhere like $40,000 over top of a Lariat. So it's built on a Lariat, and then I can go on and on about it, but it does look cool. But I still like the original Ford one better, and they got rid of that. So that's my first number 1 gripe, probably a personal thing, but what do you guys say? Do you guys miss the real Ford Harleys? Because I definitely do. So number 2, and I'm pretty sure I'm definitely not alone on this one, the Ford Raptor. They came out with a 6.2 liter, which was decent, you know, it wasn't bad, it sounded good. It wasn't the biggest powerhouse or anything like that, But the Gen 1 Raptor came with a 6.2 liter V8, which everybody can agree, a V8 just sounds good. And then Ford had to put the V6 in the Raptor in the Gen 2 as the only engine you could get in a Ford Raptor. Now, I mean, I'm sure there's people that it's grown on them or whatever, but if you're going to be honest with yourself, if it had the V8, you probably never would have bought the V6. That's just one of those things. Why did they do that? Like, I know they're trying to sell EcoBoosts, but we all know they've had a lot of issues with those engines, and even to this day, I'm very leery. I don't think I would want to buy anything with that 6-cylinder in it, but it might be just my personal preference. I have never really owned one, nor have I driven one, but I just don't like the sound of them, and I've heard tons of people say the exact same thing. All right, so number 3, we're back to Super Duties, and this is something that I've talked about before. It's kind of a mixed one, and kind of to do with the world at the time of production, and the fact that there's probably still a bunch of trucks sitting in the racetrack out of Kentucky waiting for chips and all of that, and it was just a mess. Ford decided to build trucks to keep the factories going, which I totally understand, but there was things that they needed to build the trucks complete, and they didn't have all of them, so certain things happened. And one being that they ended up having some options that came off the truck, and one was the multi-contoured seats in the Platinum. So you can order the truck and you can choose to opt out of the multi-contoured seats. I imagine you would get your truck a lot sooner, but then you're getting a seat that doesn't do massage, and that's probably my favorite like party trick when people get in my truck. It's like, you gotta try the massage seats because they're awesome. So I definitely would not opt out of that. I would wait and get those, but some people can't wait. Some people need their trucks for work and whatever, so it's just one of those things. They got rid of that, and I really wish that, you know, there was the things that were in some of the earlier trucks. And also with that, they did on the 22, I'm not sure exactly when this ended, they got rid of the RGB color changing ambient lighting. And if anybody knows me, you know I love LED lighting. So this truck has the ice blue, which is cool. I mean, I have the starlight to match it and all that. It looks cool. But to have that option to change it would be nice. I mean, would I change it all the time? Probably not, but it is something that was in the previous trucks and is no longer in these trucks, and that would have been nice. So the option to change it, the LED lighting, the ambient lighting in the truck, and also the door sills. So when you open my truck, you can see I have the illuminated Platinum. I did a video on installing those. They were like 300 bucks. Had to buy them. The plug was already there, so it was really easy install. Just rest assured, they're not all there. So not all the trucks have the plug. So if you're gonna buy those to put them in, make sure you pull your old one out first and check. But my truck did not come with illuminated door sills. I know these are minor things, but it's just little things that I thought were cool, and the new trucks just don't have them. Supply issues, just maybe cutting back in general, I don't know. But it's something that I had to change on my truck, and it should have been there from the factory. Now for number 4, we're going even smaller now. We have the new Ranger. Now, we went away from the smaller Ranger, and I mean, I don't know about you guys out there, the new Ranger is just, it's a different Ranger than what was before. And now, for me personally, I really like the little Rangers. Like this, the little truck scene is just kind of cool. I've had a couple of little trucks back in the day. I've had S10s, I've had little Mazdas, I had a little Toyota at one time. But just that little small truck kind of scene is just where the Ranger was kind of, it fit in there pretty well. Now the new Ranger, I mean, it's definitely a nice truck, I'm sure, but it is a different size than the old one, and I really kind of like that mini truck look. And if you could just go out and buy like a cheap little Ranger, 4-wheel drive, it would just be a cool little truck. And I honestly would probably even want to buy one nowadays, and that's probably why the old ones, the prices have really skyrocketed on them. I've seen people asking over 20 grand for like good condition 4-wheel drive Rangers. And I remember the FX4 level 2s, they were so cool. Like, it was just kind of like your first like good cool truck as like a young person working, whatever. Has like the off-road look. It had the BF Goodrich tires from the factory. It's kind of like competitor to the ZR2 S10, and it was just like a beefy, cool looking truck. And I just don't know that they really have something like that in the Ranger platform nowadays. I mean, imagine the Ranger Raptor kind of be around that, but I'm not even sure if you can buy those in the US yet. So that's just kind of my thing. I like the little Rangers a little bit better, and I'm sure I'm not alone because there's a lot of people out there that are paying big money for them nowadays. And now for number 5. Number 5 is gonna be one that I made a video on already, and that is the new Super Duty. The new Super Duty, for me, it's gonna take some time, and a lot like mold takes time to grow. This truck may take some time to grow on me too. It's just not in the I guess spec that I think it looks good at this point. I haven't seen it in real life, but just from the pictures I've seen, I mean, I think they chose maybe colors that weren't, I guess, flattering to that truck. I mean, the headlights are probably the biggest part for me. I know a lot of guys don't like them, but it's gonna take some time for them to kind of maybe tweak it, make some packages. I've heard a little bit of a rumor of a Raptor Super Duty, and that would be really, really cool. And if they would maybe like change some colors, do some cool things with that look, I think they could probably make it work. So I mean, I'm not naysaying it 100%. I do love this truck, but that truck's gonna take some time for me. Definitely drop in the comments if you agree or disagree with me on that new truck. The new interior, it is nice. It is just the new F-150 interior from the model, the Gen 3. So that, I mean, translates to the Super Duty as just much like this interior translated to this truck when they swapped that over and the F-150 cab became the same size as the Super Duty cab. And it's kind of made everything seamless with the production process. But it's just one of those things that we have to adapt to. When new trucks come out, things change, and they just, yeah, they add things that people ask for, and sometimes they take away things that we want. But what do you guys think? Do you like the new truck? I'm not a big fan of the Chevy box, and I'm not gonna lie, that is a Chevy box. It has a Chevy step on the side, it has the Chevy steps in the bumper. If you're running fifth wheel all the time, you're gonna love those. But I don't pull a fifth wheel. I like just driving my truck and pulling my bumper toes, and that's just me personally. I think it looks cleaner without it, but I mean, it should have been something that came out from underneath for the side step, me personally. And the back too. I mean, my Ram has one, you just push on a little thing and the step pops out. So it's pretty easy to do it that way, but they figured they would do it the permanent method, and I'm not really sold on it. So there it is, everybody. My 5 things that I think Ford messed up on their trucks in the last 10 years. And tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. If you guys made it to this point in the video, put 5 worst in the comment section or whatever you'd like to say, and just kind of putting that conversation out there for you guys to engage and just kind of see maybe there's ways that they can improve on trucks in the future. Because honestly, every time when you're looking for something to buy, you want to buy something that you feel real special when you buy it. You're like, okay, this is a dream truck. I don't have to do a lot to this. This is exactly what I wanted. And I mean, this truck, I'm not gonna lie, this is exactly what I wanted from what the factory offered. But if they had a Harley truck, I would have bought that all day long. But that's just the way it is. I'm not paying $130,000 for one that's made by another company, and it's Lariat. So we touched on that already. I probably could make a more suited to me truck out of the Platinum for less money than what it would cost to buy that Harley. I can get the branding and all that, but I mean, that doesn't really mean a whole lot to me unless it came right from Ford. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.